When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. Happy Tuesday to you here at BroncoNationNews.com. Bronco Nation News Live, sponsored by RowPaint.com. And BJ Rains with you along on a rare Tuesday edition. Mike Prater, KTIK 95.3. The Ticket is with us as well. Mike, you owed us a show from a previous week, so you're nice enough to do today to kind of preview Media Days, and then Friday to wrap up Media Days. Appreciate your time, man. How's it going, sir?
I'm doing well. It is kind of weird to be here on a Tuesday morning, but yeah, I do owe you one. For whatever reason, a couple of weeks ago, I skipped out on the show, and you're being very gracious enough to pay me for this deal. So here I am, giving you a little bit of payback, my friend.
Appreciate it. I'm in a good mood. The home run derby did me well last night here in Las Vegas, so it's a good. I had this beautiful view here of Caesar's Palace, and I was hoping to try to let everybody see Vegas, but for some reason the lighting looked terrible, so you're seeing a wall of a hotel room here. But I am down in Las Vegas a little early. Media Days kicking off tomorrow. You have Coach Andy Avalos, Jeremiah Dickey. Actually, I understand is attending as well. We'll be flying in today. We are going to hit our number one off-season storyline as well as we kind of wrap up the 2-month series of the players and the storylines and all the things. But I think the breaking news, Mike, is that you're now no longer an eligible bachelor. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, if you're in a good mood because you woke up in Vegas this morning, I'll look at that. Look how fancy you are. You grabbed that picture. Yeah, I did it, BJ. I did it over the weekend, and on Sunday, I pulled off the surprise of the surprise. So I almost said the girlfriend, but because that's what I've always referred to her as. I guess I can't say that anymore. The wife, and I pulled off a 8-week surprise wedding. Not a single person knew for sure. There were some people guessing, including some guys around here, some listeners. Appreciate you guys trying to chime in, but pulled it off on Sunday. Beautiful downtown ceremony. Thanks to our family. Thanks to our friends. I know you were supposed to be there, BJ, but you were down there with your lovely wife in Vegas getting ready for Media Days, and the gang around here came, and lots of support from the listeners. So I appreciate everybody for reaching out. You guys are the best. I promise I will not screw this one up.
Unbelievable. You tell everybody it's a birthday party and they show up and it's a wedding. It's unbelievable. That is just the coolest thing. And yeah, I was already mad I couldn't come because I saw, it looked like it was just going to be a heck of a party, and it turned out to be a heck of a wedding. So, and I'm not used to see it kind of like, semi-clean shaven, semi-hair parted. I mean, it was, you couldn't go suit though. You still went t-shirt, but at least you got the sport coat and the slacks on. Part of the way.
I bought a brand new white t-shirt, so at least it was a clean white t-shirt. So I got approval from the wife. Gosh, that sounds weird. That just sounds really weird. But I got approval from the wife for a clean white t-shirt, and she even let me wear some Vans tennis shoes. So it wasn't too formal. We had a couple bands. We had an open bar. My buddies did some serious damage on the open bar, and we had some food, and it was a really good time. It was a good time. We missed you, BJ, and I understand what you got to do, but thanks to everybody involved. Thanks to the Olympic downtown, a beautiful downtown venue, 100 years old, brick, wood, glass. It's a beautiful venue. We had a great time, BJ. Thank you very much.
Well, if I'd have known that's what it was, I would have pushed the Vegas trip back a day so that I could have been there for that. I'm sorry that I missed it, but the comments are chiming in. Congrats, Mike. Congrats. Great looking, happy couple. Nice. Congratulations. So maybe that's all we need to hit our record comments thing, and just have somebody on the show get married for a couple of days. But yeah, congratulations, Mike. That's great to you and your now lovely wife. Yes, it sounds weird even for me to say. But
I know
congratulations and many years of happiness to come. So that's a really cool thing. And yeah, you had the best weekend of anybody I know. So congratulations to that. But we're here in Vegas, as I said. Mountain West Media Days kicking off tomorrow. Craig Thompson is going to kick off Media Days. Usually he talks either later in the day or even on the second day sometimes to wrap up Media Days. They've got him set to go at 8 a.m. Pacific time to kind of kick things off tomorrow. What do you make of Craig Thompson and what he might or might not say tomorrow?
I'm going to guess that he won't say anything spectacular tomorrow. He won't say anything that's going to rock our world. He's going to go out there and talk about the state of college football, state of athletics right now, and where it is. He's going to talk about this slippery slope that college athletics is in. But I would imagine he's going to stand up and really pat the Mountain West on the back. The Mountain West has been left untouched. And I know there's certain strategies. Is that good? Is that bad? Are they even wanted? You know, you can't be invited somewhere if you're not even wanted. So I think the Mountain West is somewhere in the middle. They're kind of this perfectly comfortable little conference. And if they're this one happy little family right now, then he's probably going to stand up and pat himself on the back and say, we've got no chaos in the Mountain West. You know, we could lose a couple of teams and we might be able to look for other teams. We're wanted and there's other teams that want us. So he's going to stand up and pat himself on the back and tell everybody that the Mountain West is in good shape, while also probably pointing out the issues with college football and the growth that's going on out there. Craig Thompson's pretty predictable. I have a pretty good feeling that's exactly where he's going to go.
And it's just crazy to think about this, but it was last year at Mountain West Media Days. I had just finished a live interview with Craig Thompson on my platform last year, and literally 30 minutes later, the first report came down that Texas and Oklahoma were talking to the SEC. Right. It was literally right during Media Days that the first thing happened last year, and I remember kind of being pissed that I had already finished my interview with Craig Thompson and couldn't get a comment on it. And so it's, you know, literally a year to think about that all happening and where we are now. And you know, that we saw yesterday that the Pac-12, Big 12 are at least not talking anymore about a full-on merger, but I still think one of the leagues could poach some of the other teams' leagues. So there's still a lot to happen, but I agree with you. I think Craig Thompson's going to sit up there and boast and talk about how good the Mountain West is. And let's be honest, Mike, I mean, depending on what happens with the playoff, you know, Boise State might be in an okay, you know, all that their main competition, UCF, Cincinnati, Houston, I mean, they're all leaving next year to go to the Big 12. So if there's a scenario where a group of 5 team can get an automatic bid to the playoff, which is sounding like the SEC doesn't want that. Who knows what'll happen? But if the playoff expands, if the group of 5 gets a spot, you can make an argument Boise State's in a better spot to be in a conference like the Mountain West and in the Big 12.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I don't care how good Boise State is, and certainly they're not the kind of stature that they were 5, 6, 8, 10 years ago. But absolutely, they're going to be the king of 5, the group of 5, the king of the group of 5 for many, many years to come, whether they deserve it or not, just based on reputation, almost kind of by default. So there's no doubt about that. I don't think the CFP is going to. I worry about the future of this football tournament. I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think the window was about 6 months ago. Ironically, the Pac-12 was a part of that, and they just decided not to do anything about it. I don't see a 12-team tournament or an 8-team tournament that includes the group of 5. I mean, we're really down to Boise State, Memphis, SMU, maybe a couple of other schools if you really wanted to push. Why would the powers to be in college football leave a spot open for Boise State, Memphis, SMU, and a couple of other has-beens? I just don't see that happening. I really, truly believe that the college football playoff that we wanted a year ago is never going to happen. It's going to go away, and there's going to be this, you know, Power 5 playoff. There might be a group of 5 playoff. I'm not sure how that's going to work. And then there might be an FCS playoff. I really kind of think it's working out that way, BJ, and I hate it. I hate it.
I do too, and I agree with you. Why would you guarantee a spot every year to you know, what might be 3 or 4 schools that your, you know, 4th SEC team or 5th SEC team or 4th Big 10 team is probably on a yearly basis better than if you're one of those schools. And so yeah, I agree with you. It stinks, and I hope we don't get to the point where it's a separate tournament or something. I hope they just say, hey, we'll just take the top 12, and you know what, Boise State, if you want in, you got to get in the top 12. Which, you know, who knows what would happen. I mean, everyone said, oh, well, they would have been 2 that year with BYU and Coastal Carolina. Well, if they knew the voting determined the playoff spot, I don't think Coastal Carolina would have been as high as they were. I mean, they're going to try to find a way to get as many Power 5 teams in there as they can. But it'll be interesting to hear what Craig Thompson says. I know you've had mixed feelings on Craig Thompson over the years, and you know, Jordan chimes in here. How much longer does Craig have in him in this career? By the way, I asked you this the other day. I mean, are we pretty sure that he is the longest tenured commissioner in college football right now?
Well, yeah, certainly if you're looking at the Power 5 conferences, there's been massive turnover in all 5 of the Power 5 conferences. Conference USA, no. Sun Belt, no. The MAC guy's been around for a long time. He's the guy that works with the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, comes to Idaho every year for that famous Idaho Potato Bowl lunch and dinner. He's been around for a long time, but I don't know if he's been around for 25 years. Craig
Oh,
Thompson.
2009 for him.
Okay.
I just looked it up.
Yeah, so there you go. So, Craig Thompson has to be the longest tenured commissioner. I think he's done a good job with the Mountain West as we sit today. Yes, I've had a roller coaster ride, and I think sometimes he does a good job. Sometimes he doesn't do a good job. Right now, he's kind of high on my platform. I think he is the right guy for the Mountain West right now. Moving forward, I'm not sure who that would be. Eventually, there needs to be a leadership change, and that will probably be good. It's a spike. Look what's happened with Jeremiah Dickey at Boise State. That's the kind of bump you want to have when you get a new leadership. And I think eventually the Mountain West will get there, but I wouldn't be in a big hurry to push out Craig Thompson. I think he's done a good job, a decent job, amidst a really, really crazy time in college athletics. And he's sitting pretty comfortably today.
Yeah, I mentioned down here in Las Vegas for Mountain West Media Days, you can take advantage of promo code Media Days to get a 1-year subscription to Bronco Nation News for just $52. That's $1 a week if you pay up front. $52. Media Days is the promo code, and haven't had a ton to write about, haven't had a ton going on the last couple of weeks. We're going to fire up the laptops here, and there'll be plenty of daily stories, daily content moving forward here, pretty much every day now from here till probably next April. So lots of content coming to the site, lots of videos and interviews and things, exclusive content that will be on location for these media days and things like that. So hopefully you'll consider a 1-year subscription. Media Days is the promo code, and it's just $52 to lock you in for a full year. Anything else, Mike, that you expect to happen at Media Days tomorrow? We're going to have the predicted order of finish come out tomorrow before things get going. Andy Avalos, all the coaches will talk tomorrow, and then we'll get the all-conference team on Thursday morning before all the players talk on Thursday. We've got John Ojukwu, Scott Matlock coming down for Boise State. They'll be doing live interviews with you guys, with Bob on 95.3 The Ticket, as well as with us as well. Anything else just from the 2-day media days, storylines or things that might pop up or things you're interested in paying attention to?
No, I mean, I want to, I can't wait to hear some of the coaches talk, especially since there's been a little bit of change here and there, and I can't wait to see what's going on there. I would imagine there's going to be some kind of breaking news. There always is. Everybody else is having their media days, SEC's media days, and lots of other media days going on. There might be a little bit of news here. I don't expect anything big like you mentioned last year with Oklahoma and Texas, but maybe something out of the Pac-12, maybe something out of the Mountain West. Maybe somebody's going to stand up and talk a little bit about television and streaming and moving forward. That's certainly the hot button topic over the next couple of years. We'll see how that shakes out. A lot of TV contracts for conferences are coming up here in the next couple of years. That's why we're seeing this movement. I would imagine there'll be a little bit of news, but at this point, I kind of expect it to be pretty sleepy and pretty quiet. Just information gathering, knowledge gathering, get to know these players, get to know these coaches, and figure out which of these football teams are going to be good this season.
Hey, United Commercial Insurance, we appreciate them. They make business insurance easy, and I can now say that I am a client. Bronco Nation News is a client of United Commercial Insurance. We've got our workers' comp insurance, some other stuff we're working with them on, and it was a very easy process. Happened over a couple of days, mostly via email. Very quick and easy, affordable rates. They make business insurance easy. So check them out, United Commercial Insurance. They're a local company, but they can write policies in 44 states around the country. If you're looking to improve your business insurance for your business, look no further than United Commercial Insurance. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. 13 Idaho locations. They have the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. Check them out online. Find the location near you, the CUNA location. Frequent that often. Again, shopridleys.com. Also want to thank Boise Dentistry Co. as well. Full family dentistry and wellness. That's Dr. Meinert on the screen there. They do a tremendous job. They make going to the dentist fun, which is not often the case. My kids are smiling there on the screen. So check them out. They got locations across the Treasure Valley. BoiseDentistryCo.com. And again, they're a proud supporter of Bronco Nation News. We appreciate them for their support. Rudy chiming in that Hank did not make the Davey O'Brien Award watch list today. Another chip on his shoulder. I know you guys are all about the Hank Bachmeier thing last week. Yep. We're going to get into the storylines here and kind of transition into the season, but that's kind of usually something where the SID just has to fill out the form and you're on the list. And I wonder if, there's some turnover right now in the SID department at Boise State, so I'm not going to, blame that for it. But, I don't know why he's not on the list or if he should have been or what, but I guess that's just another thing to add to the list.
He needs to be on the watch list. I mean, watch lists are stupid, but watch lists are stupid because they include everybody. I thought I saw your name on a watch list, BJ. It's ridiculous how many, and I get it. It's this time of year. It's all good. Let's celebrate the kids who are playing college football. Don't take it too seriously, but there's a bunch of good football players. I take the watch list and I write down names, certainly of the Mountain West, maybe the Pac-12, maybe my Utah football team, and anybody that shows up on a watch list. Is you try to build who's the rock stars of these football teams, but you can't take it too seriously. But it's really weird. It's almost like Hank Bachmeier doesn't exist anymore. He's a 4-year starter, for crying out loud, not just at Boise State, but in college football where 4-year starters don't exist. And he's not in Vegas this weekend. He's not on any preseason all-conference ballot. He's not on watch lists. There's something going on, BJ, and I don't know if it's a combination of Hank wanting to hunker down, the athletic department not giving him love, maybe a combination of both. Let's just get back to the basics of business, as Hank Bachmeier needs to elevate his career. We've been told in the offseason that Hank Bachmeier wants to play in the National Football League, but Hank Bachmeier can't even get out of college football right now. Nobody even knows who he is in college football right now. It's crazy. He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. And I think he's going to have a really rock-solid season this year. I really think him and Plow are going to be solid with this offense. 35 points a game, I predict, somewhere in that neighborhood. What's going on behind the scenes with this offseason, though, is Hank Bachmeier. I don't think it's getting enough attention. We talk about it a lot on this show. We talk about it a lot in Idaho Sports Talk. Something's going on with Hank Bachmeier, and I cannot wait to see how this develops over the next 6 weeks.
Well, Jordan says maybe Hank is just already in for a 5th year and is saving that stuff for next season. You've got Perry saying I'm pulling for Hank. Rudy says Hank is the Rodney Dangerfield of Mountain West quarterbacks.
Yes.
And of course, it all comes back to this: we want Talon Green. Someone says it's already we're already hearing the Talon Green talk. I don't know if that's something that'll come up to Andy Avalos or not. I mean, for me, it's kind of cut and dry. The policy of you could say the policy stinks, but he wasn't on the ballot. They claim because he didn't at least finish honorable mention all last year, and so if that's the policy, that's the policy. But I mean, it is starting to add up here where there's a lot of stuff, and you do kind of wonder what's going on. I don't really believe there's any kind of conspiracy or anything going on, but who knows? We'll find out here on, first practice is August 3rd. So we're 10 days away or whatever. So we'll find out soon. And we will have, Andy Avalos sitting down with you guys and Bob tomorrow, sitting down with me as well. So we'll see what comes up with Hank Bachmeier and the talk there. And it's probably a question that needs to be asked, at least how he's doing. And is he ready for the season just based on everything that's going on? I do periodically check the roster to make sure they didn't sneak one on us or something, just to, you never know with all this stuff. And it has been crazy. But as of now, he's still on the team.
BJ, just do me a favor, and we'll talk to Bob as well, and we'll make sure this is out there. This is where I really wish I was in Vegas, but you and Bob can handle it. Just make sure that Andy Avalos is asked this specific question. The things we just talked about. Hank Bachmeier is not here. Hank Bachmeier is not on any list. Hank Bachmeier is almost like he's non-existent. Is it status quo with Hank Bachmeier, or is there something going on? I want a very specific question about everything that's going on with Hank Bachmeier this offseason. It's just, there's too much information. You might be right. At the end of the day, maybe it's just coincidence that it's all kind of just piled up. And when we start football, we're back to business. It's Hank Bachmeier's team, and he's out there being a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. But dang it, I want to ask a million questions right now.
Someone already says they think if Hank takes his extra year, he'll transfer to play with his brother for the 5th year, wherever his brother goes.
Brother Stanford? Did his brother sign up or commit to Stanford?
He's got an offer there. I don't know if he could. Yeah, he might have. Yeah. Boise State fans reminding me of BYU fans here. Look how they've treated their quarterbacks over the years. Even Zach Wilson had a ton of haters prior to his senior season. Kurt asking if Hank can transfer now. No, he's past the transfer deadline. Yep. He would not be able to transfer to a Division I school, FBS school, and play without some sort of immediate waiver, which I wouldn't expect him to get at this point. I don't see any issues. I know it's fun to talk about. It's off season. We'll find out. Like I said, we'll try to ask Andy tomorrow, but I may be proven wrong. But I think it's just how we are, Prater. When there's not much to talk about, we grasp on every little thing in the summer. And I hope for Boise State's sake and fans' sake that that's it, and he's ready to go on August 3rd. But I guess we'll find out for sure here at some point in the near future. But we've been doing this countdown for the last 4 or 5 weeks, kind of the biggest storylines, position battles, all kinds of different stuff. And we've kind of gotten down to the final one to kind of touch on, Mike, going into media days and then going into camp. We talked about Tim Plow yesterday with Johnny, and I want to get your thoughts on him. But as we kind of wrap it all into this, the number one question storyline for this team, at least in my opinion, is can Andy Avalos get the Broncos back on top of the Mountain West? I mean, you can talk about Tim Plow's offense. You can talk about Skinner and Jones and the safety duo and needing running back depth and the offensive line. Can they come back and the wide receiver and all this stuff? But it all boils into one big pot. Can this team get past 7-5, get back to winning the Mountain West and getting back to the Boise State days of old? And Andy Avalos, obviously year one did not go well for him. There are a lot of reasons why. I think that, rational fans would expect this year to go much better, but it needs to go much better than 7-5. And so, worst regular season since 1996, losing 3 home games on the blue for the first time since 98. Worst scoring offense, and going back to 1998, I believe as well. So, I mean, you're going 2 decades back plus for a lot of these stats. We were looking in the history books for the wrong reasons last year, Mike. What do you make? What do you make just of where this program is at, where Andy Avalos is at going into year 2 here?
I don't want to take this too lightly, but I think Andy Avalos and this football program can wake up out of bed and be better than they were last year. I really, truly do. A part of that's because of the schedule. A part of that is because I believe that there's smart people in charge of that football program down there that are going to get better. That roster should be better. But let's look at the schedule itself, where they're going to get better. You can look at the Oregon State game. That's potentially a loss. Then they go on a streak of 3 straight consecutive wins. San Diego State, Fresno State, and Air Force, and back-to-back weekends with 2 of those at home. Let's go ahead and throw another loss in one of those 3 games. And then just throw out another random loss here and there. I can't see more than 3 losses with this football team. I'm looking at 9-3 at the worst, BJ. And I know we got duped last year. I thought the defensive line was going to be good. It wasn't. I thought the football team was going to be good. It wasn't. So I know that, the credibility here is let's wait and see what happens. But I can't see more than 3 losses with this football team. If they have more than 3 losses this football season, Andy Avalos is going into the offseason next year with major, major trouble. Major trouble. Major hot seat. He's got a new athletic director with high expectations. He's trying to raise money. The standard around here is not back-to-back 5-loss seasons. This is going to be a better football team, and the schedule is going to help them. The roster is going to help them. And smart people down there are going to help them. I can't see anything worse than 9-3.
The last 4 weeks we've talked about all these different storylines. What to you is going to be the biggest difference in why, it could just be as simple as the schedule's easier and all the harder games are at home. And so, like you said, you're going to wake out of bed and it's just going to be better because of that. But whether it be the whole Tim Plow, Bachmeier relationship for another year, whether it is getting KHG back at center, adding in Beresford at right tackle, you feel like the line's going to be a lot better, bringing in Keith Bonifaz to help with the running backs, which you think will make a big difference. You go down the line at all these different storylines and positions, having, the Skinner back and Jones back at safety. I mean, why do you believe or what's going to be the biggest thing to you in terms of why this team should be a lot better?
I think this offense, and you touched on it, Plow and Bachmeier, they're going to be better. I said it earlier. Last year, I think they averaged 29 points and change. This year, let's go ahead and add a touchdown to that. They're going to average 35 points a game. I really, truly believe that. The offensive line, as you said, will be better. I really think the running game will be better. Now, the running game still has some serious depth issues, and if Helani gets hurt, this football team is in trouble. He's the only guy on this football team, if you ask me, that they have to put in bubble wrap and protect. But I also want him to have a workhorse season. I want 1,300 yards and 20 catches and 15 touchdowns, and I want to see a workhorse effort out of George Helani if his body can allow for that. And only Boise State will know that. I think the wide receiver group will be better because it's going to be more spread around as opposed to just one guy with Shaq. Bachmeier needs to be better. So I think the offense will be 6 points better than they were last year, and the defense is going to be better than last year. Let's go ahead and subtract 3 to 6 points off of last year's average. That, to me, is enough to win you an extra couple of football games. That's where I see the difference, starting with this offense.
We've talked a lot about Bachmeier, and I mean, he is kind of a polarizing figure. I think the starting quarterback probably is on any team, but especially in Boise and going into his 4th year, I think some fans would like his game maybe to be a little higher at this point. Obviously, the consistency is what you're looking for there. You're looking for the limiting the boneheaded, interceptions late in the game. He's had a couple of those. But him going into his 4th year, and you were there that day with Johnny and I and the media when he talked about the importance of having Plow back for a 2nd year, and how it was his first time he's having a 2nd year of an offensive coordinator. Plow, the whole read option thing, the decision making, all that stuff, and how now in 2nd year he's just kind of, making small changes and kind of perfecting small things instead of having to learn the entire new thing. Are we making too big out of that, or a deal about that, or do you truly believe that the Bachmeier-Plow relationship is going to make things a lot smoother offensively this year?
Way smoother, way smoother. Tim Plow is too smart of a guy. And if I've been duped thinking otherwise, then I'm about to find out. But I think he's too smart and too good, and he's going to get better. But mostly, let's just rely on the history, the facts that we know. And I've charted, and I've talked about this before, I've charted the senior year of every Boise State quarterback during their FBS era, going back to Bart Hendricks. Bart Hendricks, his senior year, fantastic. Dinwiddie, Zabransky, Tharp, Moore, Southwick, Grant Hedrick. Those are all senior year quarterbacks at Boise State who had monster seasons. They played almost every single game with incredible stats. They won league titles. They went off to play big bowl games. The expectations around here for the last 9 starting quarterbacks going into their senior year at Boise State are to have big seasons, including Brett Rippon. So I really, truly believe that Hank Bachmeier is going to join that list. He's a 4-year starting quarterback. There's no excuses. Hank Bachmeier has to come out and be an absolute rock star this season, and the history tells me that's what's going to happen.
Well, I want to talk quickly about the defense, but I do want to thank a couple of our sponsors real quick. TheBlueAndOrangeStore.com. Check them out. TheBlueAndOrangeStore.com. Free shipping on any order over $40. That's right. Go online, TheBlueAndOrangeStore.com. Free shipping over $40. All the new coaches, sideline apparel, all that great stuff. Check them out if you're in Boise at the Boise Town Square Mall at the Blue and Orange Store. We appreciate Matt Bauscher as well. Bauscher Real Estate, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small. Check them out, Matt Bauscher at Bauscher Real Estate. Transportation compliance service. If you're looking for a new career change, a fresh start, think no further than getting into the trucking industry and becoming a truck driver. That's right. It's a booming industry right now with the pandemic, and they can help you every step of the way at Transportation Compliance Service. All your permits, all the things you need to get out there on the road, they'll have you towing that first load in no time. It's a local company that can help folks all over the country, and you can help us out at transportationcomplianceservice.com and check them out and support the sponsors that are supporting us. We got about 3 minutes left here, Mike, but I do want to touch on the defense. They bring so much talent back, and you think about just Spencer Danielson and going into year 2 for him as the sole coordinator. You get Skinner back, you get Tyreek Jones back, you got 4 corners back that all started at least 3 or 4 games last year, I think. I mean, you lose Riley Wimpy, and that's a huge loss in the middle. You lose Kekala Kaniho at nickel. That's a huge loss just from a veteran leadership standpoint to lose those 2 guys. Shane Irwin, I think, deciding to retire is a loss coming off the edge, but you bring back Matlock, who a lot of people think has a chance to get drafted in the middle there. You have Zeke Noah, who it sounds like is motivated to kind of have his best year here after maybe not playing up to his standards last year. I mentioned the back end. You supplement that guy with guys like George Tarlis and some of the JUCO guys they brought in. I mean, it was one of our storylines earlier, but in your thoughts, I guess, how dominant can this defense be?
The one thing that I want to start talking about more than anything else, and maybe this is the new married side of me, BJ, but I need Scott Matlock to show a lot of leadership and heart. This football team is loaded when it comes to this defense and when it comes to talent. Unbelievable. The potential, the names, the NFL talent that's out there, but I need the intangibles. I need leadership and heart, and I'm not sure anybody has developed as a leader yet. And I need to see the Riley Wimpy guy that has all the heart in the world, that wears it on his sleeves. And I think Scott Matlock has shown that, and I think he can be that as long as he takes it to another level. If Scott Matlock can be the leader and the heart and the emotion of this defense, the talent is there. I worry about the hole in the middle. Noah, God bless him. Hawkins, Schramm, God bless him. Those guys are going to be okay. I think I need to have better than okay. So the run game will start with the defensive front. I think that's fine. But the middle guys, I need to see a little bit more out of the middle guys. They need to have monster seasons. But I'm more worried about the intangibles, the heart, the leadership, the chemistry, working together. I don't want 11 football guys with NFL potential thinking about next year. I need them thinking about this year. And if they can all come together as a unit, it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. Probably one of the best defenses in the history of Boise State football, but we can't anoint them yet. They got some chemistry issues, and they got some leadership and some heart things that they need to follow up on. If they can take care of that, oh, BJ, this is going to be really fun to watch.
I hope folks heard what Prater just said there. He's been covering this team for a long time and said it has a chance to be one of the best defenses in Boise State history. I mean, that's a big thing to say right there. And you're saying that's going to happen, and then you're saying that you think, Tim Plow and Hank Bachmeier are going to have monster years. I mean, it sounds like you're, pretty bullish on the potential of this team overall this year, Mike.
I don't think – I mean, yes, I really am. I feel like with that schedule, with the way the offense is set up, with the way defense is set up, the chip on the shoulder, the Andy Avalos, I think Boise State can right the ship and take care of business. If they don't, BJ, I'm afraid we might be into a long lull with Boise State football. This is a monster year for them in terms of the fan base, in terms of the community involvement, in terms of the money that Jeremiah Dickey's trying to raise. This is a huge, huge year for Boise State football, and I think they're going to perform. I think they're going to live up to this task and bring this community alive with a lot of excitement and get some things done.
And we talked about it. I know they don't make decisions on conference invites and things like that just based on 1 year, but Cincinnati picked a perfect time to have two, perfect seasons. 7-5. Boise State's not quite as attractive at 7-5 as they are at 11-1. So I think that certainly is a side story. You sell out your home games and you have a big year, get back in the top 25, get on the national stage again. Certainly wouldn't hurt their chances when a Big 12 or a Pac-12 maybe starts looking here in the near future. So should be a lot of fun, Mike. I'm really looking forward to the season. Looking forward to this week. I know you guys are going to have hourly reports with Bob every hour of Idaho Sports Talk the next few days, tomorrow and Thursday in particular. Once media days kick off and get going, you'll have Andy and the players and all that on the radio and live reports. So hopefully folks will check out your guys' show 3 to 6 the next couple of days. Well, every day, but the next couple of days. And when they're not listening from 3 to 6, hopefully they'll check us out. Bronco Nation News will have the same thing. We'll have our live morning show in the morning, and then we'll pop on with some other interviews with Commissioner Thompson and Avalos and the players as well. So should be a fun couple of days. We'll see if any news breaks or any storylines break, but really appreciate appreciate our sponsors, ICCU, rowpaint.com, Lithia Ford, all of our great sponsors. So thanks, Mike. Always appreciate it. Again, congrats on the marriage, and we'll talk to you Friday, I guess, to wrap up media days.
BJ, appreciate it. Looking forward to Friday, and we're looking forward to Idaho Sports Talk. Your hit on Idaho Sports Talk as well. We'll get you on, and hey, do me a favor, and don't spend too much time in the sports books this week.
I've done that the last couple of days. As Jay Tuss pointed out to me, it maybe is a good thing. You got the All-Star break going on, so not as much to gamble on these days in sports. So it's kind of a interesting time. Yeah, WNBA or something. I'll have to look and see what I can find. But appreciate it, Mike. We'll talk to you on Friday. We'll be listening to Idaho Sports Talk the next couple of days with you and Johnny and Bob and JP, and appreciate our partnership with KTIK, the ticket, and looking forward to a fun football season. Again, we got media days this week, and then about a week lull, and then August 3rd, practice kicks off. So football season is officially here, and we'll have you covered with our partnership at Bronco Nation News and KTIK, the ticket. Take care, folks. We'll talk to you again from Las Vegas shortly. Have a good rest of your day.